everyone, and welcome back once again to Shiver, Vanishing Hitchhiker. Last time we came all the way out to Devil's Island, where we found out that sometime in the past, Christy came to see this boy, but it seems like there's more to it than what the father might have been thinking. Or maybe they knew full well. All we do know is that the mother apparently followed her out here, and with the town and the state it's in, presumably never found her. I still don't know how all of this relates to us, though. Seems our character has some personal connection, not quite remembered or not quite shared. Only way to find out is to start looking around. Foraging through the brush, we find another of these white flowers, but what do they mean? Actually, wait. Oh, I was wondering if maybe she would have it, like, in her hat or something. Okay, well, that's something to be found later. We can come investigate the old tree with a treehouse in it. Seems like it has some new residents, and there's an axe. I can see something sticking out, but I can't discern what it is. If the nest were just a little lower. Looks like there's some tweezers in there. I was really expecting a spider jump scare, but nope. Lightning jump scare. Those ropes dangling in front of us look like they may have once been nooses. Is this a hanging tree? Ah, that juxtaposition. People hanging from a treehouse. Of course, we don't know that for sure yet. There we are. Each does something different. That one rings a bell. An ordinary pirate's lock. The boy must have played here. Now I wonder who this boy actually is. I mean, she goes out to the island to see him, so he's not a resident of the town. I mean, presumably. Maybe she was dealing with a ghost story even then. Either way, clearly the star key goes here. We're looking for a cross key and a crescent moon key. Is that a hatch to something buried below? I hope no one was hanged here. They had a whole secret hideaway. Complete with taxidermied shark. We can look through the porthole, which is in fact a sliding box puzzle, so that's excellent. I hate these things. One of the tiles is missing. Okay, maybe it's not a sliding box puzzle. There is a border between them. Oh my god, I reflexively recoil when I see something even in that shape. Well, here we are. Let's find out what it is we're looking for. 3 shells. There's always shells. I see 3 shells by the seashore. 1, 2. 3 soldiers, so 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, their camouflage wasn't very good, it seems. A horse. A mousetrap. Sorry, I'm still looking for that 3rd shell. Well, we could get the ship gun. A toothbrush. A giraffe. A royal flush. So that means that we need to complete the card deck. Where is that last shell? There's the thimble. think the right way to do this would probably be to like queue up a bunch in my mind. But that's easier said than done when it comes to actually searching for that many things. There's the harmonica. A parrot. You're not a shell, you're one of those... You look like one of those rubber squeezy things, but I think that might be a bit out of date. You're the picture. A representation. It'll get you every time. A sharpened pencil. So I guess what we're looking for then is a pencil that we bring to a sharpener, most likely. There's a valve. There's a shell. Now I just need to find a pencil. There's the sharpener. Problem is, we're looking for wood on wood. There we go. One sharpened pencil. The ship gun is what might be useful out of all of that. What a weird object. That might be the strangest, most esoteric thing we've taken with us. A couple of bird eggs in this birdhouse. I guess somebody is still making use of all this. Hi, Bob. In the event that you survived this horror, I buried a bottle of old wine and marked the spot. You'll easily find it, I'm sure. It's a good wine, strong and thick like blood. Drink a glass for me. Farewell. P.S. While out fishing today, I found the drawing. Perhaps the drawing of your death? Wait, there's something else there. I saw it flicker. There we go. The matchbook. Once again, a drawing and a companion death. Oh my, what is this? It looks like it's what we use the pirate gun with. Part of a game? Pirates Revenge. Looks like a shooting game, but it's missing a key element. Not anymore. Oh, look at that. It's a little shooting gallery. Pirate SWAT. Don't shoot the civvies. There we go. Probably need to get a certain score. 3 more? Ah. And we got the ball gag. Oh, sorry, clownish nose. What do we do with a clownish nose? I mean, you know, far be it from me to criticize a childish hideout for having childish things, but I don't see how it helps me stop this curse. Either way, it seems like by the time things really got going, everyone was aware of it. Or maybe everyone always was. Maybe Christy was the last to know. Maybe she was the instigator of doom. But really, I'm doing a lot of speculation right now. I can't discern what it is. If the nest were just a little lower... Of course, I can't get up there to chop the branch down. Is there something I could, like, throw? Now, we do have the ability to walk up to the mound, the one they said to stay away from. They're quite clearly leading me out here. Oh my god! Whoa! It's not the girl whom I seek, is it? It didn't look like it, but then again... Who knows? I was just gonna make a joke about there being bodies in the marsh. I didn't expect it to actually do it. I hope I don't meet a tragic end, as many of the souls inhabiting this swamp have. It breaks my heart to know this woman will never return home. How terrifying. Death by drowning. I really don't want to die that way. Maybe she's Christy's mother. This withered tree could be used as a bridge if I can find the means to chop it down. I cannot even chop a pencil with this axe. It's too blunt. Okay, that probably requires the whetstone in the boat. The gap is too wide to jump over it. I need to make the bridge. Okay, so it seems we're at an impasse once more. Well, let's take inventory of what we have. Anytime we're stuck, we need to make sure we do the most with what we've recently obtained. The tweezers can probably grab that. There's the tile. It's also telling us that we need to go back to the boat. So let's place this here. Oh no, it is a sliding box puzzle. Excellent. Most great. But it's a bit different. It's a bit different, so maybe it's not so bad. Everything's got to line up. So you would probably go in the middle there. I think a lot of this is right so far. There's still things that need to be changed. You need to be there. There you go. Put you down there. No. You did there. No. A lot of this is right, but there's something I'm not... There we go. Wasn't wrong in the direction that I thought, but there we are. Oh my god! You know what's cool about this is that it chooses its moments. It really does choose its moments. So just right after a puzzle, when you've gotten so engrossed. Without a nose, it looks too much like a human skull for my taste. There. Why do you have to open your eyes? Thank you. What did that do? Another death. The edges of this page are blackened and burnt. Everyone featured in the drawings ends up dead. What power do these mere children's sketches hold? Oh hey. There's the bear, and it has another of those white flowers. Now you'll be safe, little bear. Why was it taken from us just to be returned to us right here? Okay, we can place the crescent key in here. And I'm still not sure what we do with these things, but we do have a lot of tools to use. Let's head back to that boat. Searching once more. Need a propeller. A sailor doll, happy to get rid of you. A hot water bottle. That's just a bottle. You're a hot water bottle. Oh my god. That was a blast from the past. I have not seen a depiction of one of those objects in such a long time. A sword. A radio. A spoon. A plate. A gourd. A bug sprayer. What does a bug sprayer look like? We can't open the post box again, but we can repair this clock. Yeah, what does a bug sprayer look like? I can't quite recall. Well, there's a grinding wheel, which is actually what we need to probably fix the axe. A C-clamp. Is that something... Is that going to be something like a vise? This is a lot more difficult when I literally don't know what I'm looking for. Up there, probably. A welder's helmet. We just need a bug sprayer, and then we can worry about this clock. Ah, here's... Oh, we need the face of the clock. There we go. And what is that bug sprayer? Because I'm just imagining like a tank with a hose on it. You. This might be useful. Oh, I already know where it goes. Straightforward then. Let's place you here. Then we can use the rusty axe. Oh, watch out, ghosts. I've got an axe to grind. And now we can make our bridge. I'm still just very curious to know what the deal with these flowers is. Let's just be very, very careful not to fall in. I think I've said it before, but it always surprises me that this game actually has, like, real adult horror game scares. I've never played a game of this genre like this. Let's go. What a strange structure. How could archaeologists have missed it? It doesn't sound like they did. Look, there's just bones unearthed on the surface. It looks like there's a wooden structure buried below, or at least covered by thatch. How long ago were these pillars erected? Can we not take the strips of some substance hanging from the arms? There's a spade head. There we go. And a plank. It'll take a couple days. The earth is very hard to dig. No, but we can go back for that thing that the shadow was hunched over. One of the pillars is gone. A heavy stone about 2 feet across. The hole is too narrow to squeeze in. How heavy are you? Okay. We can use this somewhere. We need to push it a little bit further. Hope we didn't destroy whatever we needed down there. Tell you what, before we go down, I doubt it's one way. I sincerely doubt it's one way. But I'm gonna dig up what was on that spot. I still don't know if I'm being led maliciously or if I'm being guided. The red wine as described in the note. My God. Wow, I actually did the horror movie thing, where I pan my light over and get startled by the skeletons in a crypt. A picture of Indians inhaling the smoke of white flowers. Do I maybe need to burn them? It can still be lit. I don't imagine grave robbing would be a good idea right now, but it's an adventure game, so we'll take that quiver of arrows. A bow, but the string rotted long ago. Okay, maybe we can find that somewhere. Looks like an incense burner. We probably place the flowers right there. And then we can use the matches. We're not going to take these spears, I guess. Another puzzle. A heavy stone lid. And I doubt the one I seek lies beneath it, but I have to be sure. Maybe not, but the one you seek sought something here. A series of symbols. The bone probably inserts right here. But in order to get the combination, maybe we need a different set of eyes to see? That's what I thought. The boy came here and was possessed. So there is a boy who became possessed by a shaman. It must be the same boy who drew all these pictures. So, he is the killer. How horrific. But the girl, Christy, why is she mixed up in all this? I wonder, did she start seeing him after he was possessed, or were they both in on trying to find this mystery out, and this happened during their escapades? Either way, I don't know if I'd be willing to call him the killer just yet. But maybe I should take what it tells me at face value, I don't know. Point is, we have our combination. Arrow... wait. Bow, wave, arrow, triangle? Bow, wave, arrow, triangle. Doesn't allow us to open it. Looks like it was used as a vessel for blood. Well, maybe we can sheath that thing. The spirit we saw emerge from there seemed vengeful. And there he is. The boy got the tomb open clearly, all adorned with these drawings and artifacts. lifeless bones. The spirit that once inhabited them is now inside that boy. Johnny, I hope you read this. I know this isn't who you really are. You're not a killer at heart. I promise to help you. We all shall help you. I'll speak with Father Orlando. I'm sure he knows something about what you found. He's studied these mounds carefully. She was here. I'm sure she's the one needing help. I have to clear this up. We got an oil can. I guess that's all we can take with us. We need some string so we can take that bow. I bet we could use it to shoot down that wasp nest. Doesn't work. Must be something more we can do. Okay. What do we do with what we have? I'm honestly not sure. I would bet that the last key is probably inside that nest. But I need string. Okay, we can oil that, but we still don't have a handle. I just know there's something clickable somewhere. Still, getting objects out of our inventory now, it at least helps to narrow down the potential solutions. Oh, look, we can see there's a painting over here. And look at that, the deaths here, they all mirror the ones we've seen now. Electrocution, hanging, a murder with an axe, drowning, burning, and seemingly being cut open. Either way, it seems like history is repeating. These deaths are necessary to complete some kind of ritual. One of our tasks actually says, get the cord from the crashed boat. Maybe we can use that as bowstring? We have the knife now. There we are. I mean, this thing's not going anywhere anyway. Let's head all the way back. Go. There we go. Combine those two things. That's the one thing I'm kind of surprised about, is that this doesn't have combination in inventory. Now we can use this bow to shoot you down. Oh. Okay, so the way this is working is it's just being slightly annoying by moving my mouse. There we go, got it in one. We're gonna need some more. I just can't help but indulge in mini games while we're out here, huh? Okay, it's probably gonna be 3. Nope, 2 is enough. I was gonna be really annoyed if you could run out. Sorry, guys. There we go. Can we use a flashlight here? Pegleg pirate and pirate ship. Well, we can immediately put that to use. Just a stash of children's toys. Anyway, there's the turtle. The pirate, but first... well, we got the hook. Do we need your peg legs somewhere? What is it else that you need? There's a lizard somewhere. It's kind of tough to see, I'm not gonna lie. There's a die. There's the lizard. There's little drawings etched into the frame itself. I'm really interested in that one. The one on what would be the right, our left, looks sort of like Christy. There's the white flower. There's the fireman. The elephant. Come on, I saw the elephant. There's the elephant. The difficulty of this one is just how dark it is. Can we pick things up while we're using the flashlight? I don't know if we've had to do this before. 3 houses, we can. Okay. 2. And... come on, 3. Shears. The sun. Wow, we are pulling those etchings right off, huh? Tomahawk. There's a tomahawk. Now, peg leg pirate. Where's your peg? Here we go. The shears might be useful. Question for what? What's our next task? Simply repair the old boat and find a way back to town. Now I wonder, was the ritual completed? Or was it stopped by the evacuation just due to a lack of participants? That's really what we're supposed to do? I was just using everything on everything, and I remembered there was a clickable object here. Okay, well, we can take that. That's probably what we need to patch the boat. I still don't know how we actually put it on. Oh, I guess we just do. I need to weld this. Using what? Is there a welder's mask somewhere? Oh, here we go. We're having another look in here. It's not often clear when we need to go and backtrack somewhere in order to do one of these hidden object hunts. But whatever. We need a lot of things. We need a duck. A truck. A little bit of luck. Ruler. Right there. A potato. Do those count as gloves? They do count as gloves. It's just a failure of specificity. Now we need a feather. There's a brush. Feather. Paddle. But see, you do that deliberate misdirection because it's a paddle, we're on a boat, so you expect something longer like an oar. A frying pan. Right there. Torch. A shoe. Next is a syringe and a cone. Just a cone? Just a miscellaneous object of a cone. Well, there's a syringe. And the question is, what do you mean by a cone? A pine cone. Okay, so at this point you're just lying by omission. This might be useful. Cool. Torch, alright. We can use you to presumably weld this thing. Are you gonna say we need a mask too? Oh, it's a mini game. Look at that. That should do it. So it's now seaworthy. Look at that, totally seaworthy. But now we've got to find the handle. And this one is a bit more straightforward as to its location. I guess we're just gonna dig through this anyway. They're old war medals. 2 leaves, so there's 1 and 2. A representation, but a leaf nonetheless. A light bulb. I saw a horse. There we go. Tuning fork. Doves. A corkscrew, which again I know I saw somewhere. A sickle. Anything which stands out. Like, there are certain things that I remember from before. You really do benefit from playing this game very close together in episodes. We haven't found much in the bottom right corner. A gargoyle, I noted you last time. A soldier, but he's lost his head. Well, not for long. A gear. There's some gears down here. There's one right there. Corkscrew. 3 starfishes. Well, there's one. That one would have been sneaky. 2. Of course, there's always room for a third one to be sneaky. There's a die. It's always the simple implements that take the longest time. There's a spoon somewhere in this image. Look at how creepy that one is, staring right at me. There's always something, and up there appears to be the Lorax. Well, there's a starfish. But what about a spoon? That's a spoon. That's a spoon. Well, whatever, we got that thing that we had first. Let's get out of here. We've got our bear, we've got our matches. We've got our ride. And it seems like we're going forth into the fog once more. These are perilous waters. The depth perception is a little odd here, I'm not gonna lie. But so long as we're vigilant, we should make it in. A little girl was doing this on her own, on the regular. No wonder they were so concerned. No wonder they tried to close all this off. Curse or no, this is dangerous. But it seems like night is falling. This is such a wonderfully atmospheric game. Unfortunately, I thought that the town was pretty creepy during the storm, and of course the moment it lets up, now we're thrust into darkness. Still, it feels good to be returning to that distant boathouse. See, we returned to an even better boat. Look how nice that thing looks. You'd never even know we barely patched a hole in its hull with a gas can. Now we need to start looking for a way out of here. Maybe something we can use to repair the hose? Anyway, we need a painting. hand drill. Well, that's something... Yeah, that is a hand drill. The shipmaster. The cork, which I bet we can remove from this bottle. There we are. A rhino, it says. Where do we see a rhino? Right there. An onion. A nut. You're not a stamp. A hinge. A bellows. So that's what those things are called. Oh no, there's a fork. That's the kind of thing that always ends up being so difficult to find. An iron. A gear. Usually stamps are the easier things. A fork. Glove. Now we need only a stamp and an egg. There's the stamp. Okay, that went a little easier than I expected. Nothing else around. But we've got a hand drill. Which presumably gets us into the old mine. My god. I hope he isn't underneath the rock slide. Interesting. What is that red thing for? It doesn't look like mining equipment. It looks like maybe a track switch. I don't think it's possible to open this crate with a key. These rocks can be cleared only by explosives. Well, that's going to be a whole issue. Maybe we can... Maybe we can light the crate on fire and just run? No, we're looking for something else. Whatever it is won't be found in here, though. Ooh, there's a drill bit. There we go. Maybe we can use that on here. You're not telling me no. There we are. Now we use you here? Oh man, look at us rigging that up like we're a demolitions expert. I hope I'll have some time to get out of here after I light the dynamite. Use lit. Let's, nope, go, leave. Almost in time. But it's telling us to go back into the boathouse for no reason, apparently. Alright. Let's do this. It's pressed between the rails. But if I can find the switch, I can unclasp it. I need to stand to reach this. What is all this? Oh, we need to repair it. The bearing goes first. The rung. And a white stone. Remove all this, and now we can push you along? Now we can climb up there and get you. Seems to attach just fine. And now we've got the grappling hook. Unfortunately, we can't pick up that miner's helmet from the ground there. Probably got a dead battery anyway. Are you sure we can't just use that in place of this? Climb back up the bluff? I guess not. Oh my god. That looks more like a well than a mine. In fact, I think it is the well. It's too high to climb without a rope. The rope looks sturdy enough. Why did it break? Because this is an adventure game, and we are not going back that way. No. I've had enough of this crawling. Back in town. It's locked, and I still don't have a key. Strange. How could I have missed such a big fire? It had to be visible from the island. Well, not much was visible from the island. Do you see that fog? The path is blocked by burned trees. The only way now is forward. Is this the boy that Christy mentioned? It looks like the only people left in this town are Christy and this poor possessed boy. And I'm guessing we're needed to be the last one. What happens if we try to head up the road? There's some sap here on this tree. With the right tool, I can collect this. Ah, this is so exciting. Like, this game is right up my alley in terms of environments. I mean, look at this. We have to creep through the abandoned house. We're presumably going to be heading up to a rotted old orphanage during a rainstorm. Ah, this is my element. I just love the artwork in this game. I compared it earlier to, like, flipping through an art book. It's a game that wants you just looking over every inch. We did actually keep the white stone and the rung. An old rusty padlock. Can we break it open? No. Doesn't seem like we can look that way either. We can go to the cemetery. Take another white stone. They're all here. And they all look just as they did in some of the other images we saw. That saves so much time for the artists. These lost souls are crying for help. Surely not just a coincidence. Each grave has the same symbol painted over the tombstone. It's a symbol we also saw in the depictions of the deaths. Okay. We could continue up the hill. I take it then that we're not going to be able to enter the church? Color me shocked. It's set up for a ritual right now. Once again, a picture means death. Is that something that happened, or is that to be our fate? Fell from the bell tower and impaled. I got you. Henry Forrest, 1952 to 1963. Vaclav Grabowski, 51 to 63. Merrill Kramer, 34 to 63. All died in 1963. Some of these names we even recognize. So many deaths in 1 year. It has to be linked to these pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to restore the drawing and place something in the center. Maybe the bell tower is where we look. I finally discovered information about this symbol on the graves. It was used by the Indians who once lived here to bind the souls of their enemies to the place of their deaths, to keep them from haunting their killers. If the shaman possessed the boy, this means all who died are doomed to stay here for eternity. Poor dear Christy. She was so pure and innocent. Sometimes I think God has abandoned us. The most horrible thing that can happen is for a parent to outlive his or her own child. I removed the piece with the symbol from Christy's grave. I don't know if it helps for sure, but I hope it will somehow free her soul. I'm afraid I have no time to finish. I found these drawings of my own death. I'll try, however. The rite must be conducted at night, and now it's only afternoon. I have to go to the bell tower one more time. My Lord, give me the strength. So that's it. Revenge on the town, binding them to this place. By removing those symbols, maybe we can help them move on. It seems like with Christy, well, it only partially took. That's this. Alright, let's go. Back up the road. Christy. So she's dead. Somehow I expected this. What was your first clue? The fact that you've seen her as a ghost? I denied it, but in my heart I knew she would be dead. So we need to restore this? 45 to 63. Wait, so she wasn't a child? She's 18 here. I mean, I said she had the 13 going on 30 look. I should leave her bare as an offering. The cross above her gravestone seems to emanate a glow. We got some wire. But the wicket gate is locked. It leads to a playground. This is the back of the orphanage, I think. If we... well, the map is a while back. But you get the idea. Don't suppose we can break that? Let's head to the bell tower, if at all possible. Does not seem as though we can, though. Maybe we can do something here? This is collapsed. We can grab a box from here. Move some things aside, dig through the rubble, and find a ladder. Okay, I would not have suspected we had to come back to the hospital. I'm just clicking on stuff. Well, it's good that we have that now. Wait, now we can come over here. It looks like there was some kind of cross here. Okay, so if we can restore that, maybe something happens. Paintings. Depicting a battle between angels and demons from the look of it. But what do we do about that? And it's a sliding box puzzle in which we have to sort of create that. Alright. Let's see what we got. Alright. You go in the bottom left. That's going to be a lot of reference. We can, however, put things where we need. So it's not really a sliding box puzzle in that sense. Shouldn't actually be the hardest thing. It does, however, have the potential to be real annoying. Okay. You actually go more over here. You're more here. And you here. It's all about connecting those lines. And matching colors. So that whole bottom row should be correct. There we are. That's looking good. You're probably more up in that corner. A little lower. Not quite. You, the cherubs, depicted as being the furthest from the fight. The ones being protected. There's the rabble. Where would you go? I know that these two go together. Yeah. Okay, no, that actually goes more... That cloud actually goes more in the middle here. You more here. Something is still off, though. You don't connect the way I think you do. There we are. Did that do something for me? Do I still need to find that cross? If you fell from the bell tower... Well, there's a key in here. Could I perhaps fish it out with some wire? There we are. House key. House key! Like to Christie's house. Alright. Well, it's about time we had that. Was the priest the one who sealed it? We haven't been in this part of the house before. Indian burial rites. One should obtain larch's tar, an eagle's feather, and juniper twigs, and burn them at the place of power. The tar smoke is believed to release the dead from their earthly chains. The eagle will allow their spirits to fly, and the juniper will scent the way. The fourth ingredient should be something clearly associating with the dead, some artifact from their life, a treasured talisman or other object. Well, there's another stone. I hope this ritual doesn't just work on Indians. If I stack a few more crates, I can reach the drawing above. Up there! Good thing he told me about that. I wouldn't have noticed it otherwise. But we still need some more. What if we stack a ladder on top of crates? That's what they taught me how to do at OSHA. got the chalk. Maybe with that we can restore the drawing. Another stone. Stuart! You know what, Stuart? I like you. You're not like the other people here in the trailer park. I can now conclude without a doubt that the children's drawings are associated with the recent deaths. What's more, do you remember the vandalism of which I spoke? It seems all of these symbols are drawn by the same child's hand. I believe it is the boy's writing. I urge you to find him. That is what disturbs me. Christine. She's very close with him. I don't know what he is now, and I'm afraid she can unintentionally provoke him. So she did meet him after. I feel as if I'm reading a letter written by someone who went down with the Titanic. As if the dead could now talk. We could enter the house here. Oh, please don't tell me this is how you want me to get to the tower. It's too far away for me to jump. Maybe I can find a couple of planks at the hospital ruins. Yeah, just tell me. I mean, granted, it was luck that I found it on my own, so it's good that it has that nudge. Otherwise, there's really nothing to get you there. But it also makes sense for the character to be like, okay, if I need debris, well, that place has got debris. We can see through the keyhole. I don't want to go there once again. This is the door at the end of the collapsed hallway. There's the feather we need for the ritual. Oh my god, I hate this. That little angle that it's at makes it feel like I'm gonna tip over and fall even staring at a pre-made image. There's a rung missing. Good thing we found one. Hello? There's another rung missing. Dude, at a certain point, just reach a little higher. The reason all this is taking so long is because we're playing as a character who really likes to let perfect be the enemy of good. As for this, we're not getting through. We haven't found a cross either. We can draw this out in chalk. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Oh hey, there's another rung in the ground here. Okay, we've got that. Now we can climb the tower. It always comes down to some pixel somewhere. Thankfully the game is a bit less open than it was when we arrived. So it kind of keeps us on track. I was thinking I'm not going to be able to just pull it from your mouth without you flying away. Best to just beam you now. Yep, I was right. I have to think of a way to get this cross. I love birds. I don't want to kill this one. I think it's funny that you realized we would try that. Trade? No, and we need it for the ritual anyway. The bell is as silent as the town. No. What does it say up there? There's something written on the bell. And what would we use all these for? Camera flash? No? Look, crows like to trade for shiny objects, right? Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. The pixel hunts are getting way, way worse the further we go in this. It has been so long. We use that? Oh, we can use that there. Cool. Cool. Thank you. Alright, let's rifle through this shed to find what we need. I mean, any one of these is crow tradable, right? They accept most currencies. There's a whole lot of just things. Not a lot of this stands out. We need 2 yarn balls. There's one. And there's another. A sponge, a comb, a rusty handle. There's a glove. A carrot. A shovel, but what size and variety? A sock. Yeah, this is a much tougher one. There's a fork. At least the implement wasn't saved for last like it usually is. You're not a rusty handle? That's a sickle. An arrowhead. That could have been a tough one. A cube. It simply wants me to find a cube, you guys. Let's make sure we find that cube. You're a cube. I mean, that only vaguely describes you, which kind of feels like cheating, but, you know. A lion. That looks sort of like Kimba the White Lion. I guess that doesn't count. A shovel. More of a trowel, really. You're really pushing some of these descriptions. A rusty handle could look like a lot of things. There's the lion. Look at that, we can pull that to get some water into the glass, which is now full. Still though, these last things are going to be kind of obscured. There's a comb. That's a sponge, just blending in with the textures. By the way, there's a whole blank gravestone here, just waiting. Maybe that's the one that would have gone to the priest. For all we know, he's still down there at the bottom of the tower. A rusty handle. That crow is still holding on to it all these years later. I mean, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Okay, that's a handle, I guess. Anyway, this might be useful. Clapper. Clapper. I'm just gonna hope that that works on this bird. No. Maybe we can use it on the bell. I've stirred up more than just that one. This is how that drawing must look, I guess. It appears to be the same symbol. I should recreate it. This could be a way to reverse the curse. Or make it happen in the first place. Anyway, we've got that cross. We've already drawn it on the ground. Now we place that there. And find the juniper. And her symbol. So she really is gone. It's so hard to accept when only a day ago she was sitting on the back seat of my car, as alive as I am now. The symbol. This is the one which was drawn at the mound. Does it somehow connect everything? What makes you think she was as alive as you are now? My God. What was that? I don't know, man. You've been dealing with ghosts all night. But hey, the bear's got something for me. Wait. There's something inside the bear. Something we've been carrying around this entire time, that means. There's something inside it. Oh, if only we had something to cut it open with. You know, some implement. We've had like 4 knives throughout the course of this game, but don't carry anything around with you for any amount of time. Alright, let's go rummaging through again. A razor. You can also kind of compare things that may not have been here before. I'm not sure if the razor was here. A spring. A bucket. Let's not count any of these things that are also buckets. An elephant. What else? There's a teapot. A gavel. I remember you from before. The sun. Santa. And an appropriate snowflake, which can be found where exactly? Unfortunately not in proximity to Santa, which is why he doesn't have the power to stop this. He's away from his source. A stuffed toy. A car. A sickle. I saw the sickle. There it is. Well, there's the cuckoo. But I was looking for a birdhouse. A baby bottle. An angel, a snowflake, and a bucket. There's the angel. That's a bucket. Okay, that was really dumb. Maybe it wants me using the flashlight on those corners. And a snowflake. Where does one find a snowflake? I'm trying to picture one, but it's hard because no two look alike. Oh, there you are, hiding in the corner. The razor might be useful. And I bet I can use it to get that sap. No. There we are. Mysterious object. Okay. Let's place that at the center of the site then. Neat. A gate has been opened, but we're not finished. We haven't applied the juniper. We haven't applied... What else was needed? Juniper, something related to the dead. And some kind of larch tar? It's a portal to the mound. I think this fireplace ring is incomplete. I've seen similar stones someplace else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can burn all the ingredients, as the ritual demands. I can burn the juniper. But what about the larch tar? A feather. I still need the larch tar. I'll need to find something somewhere. Hang on, I'll be right back. It clearly wants me to already have it, but I have no tool for getting it. Is there anything else in the Mystery Church's shed? Look at that. We can even see the glow from the portal. That is really cool. Now, there's a bit of a visual glitch over on the right here, but nobody pay attention to it. Oh, okay. We can look over here now. Good communication, game. We need a mask. We need an onion. A butterfly. A horse. A pencil. Scissors. An iron. Where do we find an iron? These things can be easy or quite obscure depending. Start making more use of this. An arrow, a watch. There's an arrow. There's no hidden objects. We can get a belt. A drafting brush, a shaving brush, chamomile, a lemon. There, is that it? What does chamomile look like? There's the iron, the sun. Now we need an arrow, which could be an arrow like fired from a bow, or it could be just a pointing arrow. There's an arrow up there. It's literally the flower. Alright, this might be useful. Some kind of scooper, which is just perfect because we can probably use that to get the sap off the tree. Tar. It's not what I would describe as tar, but that's fine. We can go through, burn it. Goodbye. Ritual complete.
I threw the pictures into the enchanted flame and watched the curse get weaker as they each collapsed into ashes. The ancient evil relented, setting the trapped spirits free. I saw them all as if they were alive. The doctor, Mr. McGuire. Christy, farewell. You will live eternally in my heart. The souls of Gordon Creek are free. There's nothing more to keep me here. I did everything I could. A strange feeling rushes over me, and I know this isn't over. This story is far from over.
What a strange ending. We stole those souls from you, and now I guess you want ours. Now I know that there are more games in this series, but we never did learn... We never learned anything really about our past, and I have to say I'm kind of disappointed we never went over to the orphanage after you dangled that in front of us. That ending felt really, really abrupt. but I've got to say, I enjoyed my time with it immensely. It doesn't hold back on its imagery sometimes, and even though it's definitely got its share of jank, it's exactly what I was hoping for. I would have expected nothing less. Let's have a look at what some of these extras are. General tips. Oh, it's a walkthrough. Wallpapers, concept art. Yeah, this really feels like 2000s. It's a whole... We can just look at the whole guide right here. I never looked at it during the game, but it was always in our bottom left corner. What is extra play? I mean, we've got some time. Oh! Last thing I recall is the boy jumping on the road. Wait, where am I? Is it a coffin? Wait, this isn't extra play. This is just a continuation of the game. I am risen. Seems like that accident didn't take. I never imagined that I would be the one to wake up in the fresh grave. It was dug for us. We got a wood saw. Christy, I don't understand. All I remember is I'm leaving the town. You're crying? Then darkness. The wicket gate is locked. However, its rods are very old. Maybe I can break them? Perhaps with a saw. Not suited for iron or lead. It's a wood saw. Well, you did say that. I'll give you that. The gate has been shut tight. The tree is completely dead, but still looks strong. Maybe we can cut it down and use it to break in? Oh my god! This is crazy! I gotta change back into our playing mode. This is the collector's edition. I wonder if this is maybe something that was added later? I actually went on the publisher's website, and it really looks like something from 2004. There's a lot of old conventions at play, and the game is much older than its 2016 Steam release date. Steel pipe. Oh, we are not done yet. There's actually a lot of objects in the background here. We can look more deeply here. Wait. Let's see what we're missing. A mask is the only thing to be found here. A pinwheel. I saw that there was a bat. A birdie. One ball. There's another one elsewhere, right here. A rooster. A skip rope. What else? There's the rake. A lighter could potentially be useful. A bottle. That's the other thing. The other side of the guessing game is just which of these things we're going to be taking. A bat. A slingshot. Over here we can find a whistle. We won't be able to look anymore once we've exhausted everything. A lighter. A bucket of sand, or it will be once we scoop some out and put it in. Now we just need a set of skates, which we can find over here. The lighter is what we keep. Here's the orphanage. The grate is still in good shape, but the window opening isn't. With some effort and something hard, I can loosen the gate. Away you go. We can also unlock this. Even though I removed the lock rail, it still won't open. Maybe it's locked from the inside. This is a puddle, and it may be too deep to stumble in it. I don't know why that description caught me so off guard. I found that really funny. I'm not gonna lie, that first image was also really funny. It seems the boy is completely dominated by the shaman. I don't think there's a way out until I set this poor boy free. That's why this is an epilogue. There's still one more person to save. This photo was torn from an album, so we need to find the pieces, just like in the morgue. There's one. We can remove some paper from the typewriter. A flask? Well, you wouldn't be the head of the orphanarium if you weren't hiding some whiskey in a book. Funny thing is, you're the second person in town to do so. Wait, no, It seems the boy is completely dominated, blah, blah. John Rossi, born May 8th, 1954. Entered June 23rd, 1959. Mother, Lucia Rossi. Father, absent. Psychological case study. Reserved, withdrawn. Possibly suffering from Canner syndrome. Developed strong connection to volunteer Christine McGuire and Father Orlando. She volunteered here, and we heard about this Father Orlando earlier. There's another picture. An umbrella. Oh, we are really loading up on objects now. Let's have a look. This stuff almost looks like it was put here on purpose. Well, look, the ghost just likes watching us rummage. Or maybe he's doing something more important in the background and it's just really, really easy to distract us. Okay, a birdie. There's the watch. What is that thing? Seriously, what is that thing up here that we can interact with? Soundtrack, I'm gonna need you to stop that. A belt. A mug. Light bulb. A goblet. A pipe. There's a clothespin somewhere. If needs something sharp, all I have to do is break the mirror with something hard. Okay. This is a little different from some of the other ones. So there's a clothespin. I need a button, but I guess not like on a jacket. There's a button. Skates. Now we need to look somewhere for the comb, the glove, and the ball. Ah, we can look in here. There's the ball, the glove, and the comb. We can use the glove. But you need to be broken with something hard, like a bar. These sharp pieces will cut through the flesh with ease. Let's use a glove. Hey, you know, if only in the recent past we had a glove. We can open all of these and discover the door that it covers. Are we done here, though? We only have half of the photo pieces. Didn't quite show up on film. I was so disappointed that we weren't going to be coming here, and now I am undisappointed because it is every bit as creepy as I had hoped. God, look at that mural just sitting back there in the dark. I always found it creepy in these old oil paintings. At least I imagine that's an oil painting. Those little girls looking up into the side in prayer. There's just something about their expression, like they know something we don't. So, it's an orphanage. I remember it was marked on the city map. Yeah, that's why I brought it up so much. We can grab a chimney brush from the collapsed debris in front of the door. There's a class photo over here, but it doesn't seem like we can look at it. The breach is too wide. Even the walls are adorned with paint. Images may be drawn by the children themselves. We've got a stool, but we can't take it with us. The chimney is clogged. Well, if I got a tool for you... Thus obtaining a key. It's too late for this note to act as a warning. All of them are now dead. Christy, you always mocked me, but now I'm strong. My only friend taught me. Henry, you will go first. Then Vaclav. Miss Kramer should be next. She hates me and always lies when she says she loves me. And Christy, I saw you with that old guy. You're mine. Mine only. So it wasn't an immediate possession. This occurred over time. I wish someone had found this note before all these deaths occurred. And Vaclav, we saw that note before on the list of deaths. There's another photo. This floor doesn't even feel safe to stand on. That's the thing. When you have these fixed backgrounds, you can put in so much detail, you really get the grime out of it. I don't need a rotten apple. No, but maybe you could use a sponge? Locked. Agnes. Bunch of old children's things. Maybe in your case, it's not what we get out. Maybe we have to put something in. One of them with no name, one with the name scratched out. But the key goes to this locker. A coin? One more death. This time he did it by himself. Perhaps it's his first and he didn't know how all this magic works? He was writing a note that said, "Help me." And what is that in the background? It looks like it says diploma, but it looks like a figure of a person. Perhaps himself. One more death. Why do this mere boy's drawings have such power? Power goes both ways. Perhaps I can use a drawing to end the cycle? Well, I don't know, idiot. Are you possessed by a shaman? That feels like a big part of the puzzle. The door is barely hanging on a single hinge. It can be easily removed with something thin, like a coin? Oh, we got the door. We can't take the stool, but we got the door, you guys. The music book. Maybe this is where Christy volunteered. It's locked. However, I could easily open it with a lockpick. I mean, I never fully recontextualized. I understood it a while ago, but I never really voiced it. So Christy was volunteering with this kid. That's her interest in him, not as a playmate. Please don't draw on the desk, it's rude. Look at that, it's one of those old-timey desks with the sharpener built in. An image of the shaman. I think I may copy this drawing. It could prove useful. If you were scratching it into the desk, maybe I could use the paper here? Someone spilled a whole jar of paint on the table. I was thinking maybe I could do one of those etchings. Maybe it needs to be scraped off. Okay, forget this for now. Some sort of... oh, we can put that on here. The sharpener is still kicking. We've got this pin. Although a pin to what? Who knows? Free, ritual, evil, knife, sun, mask, curse, beam, soul, heart, garden, light, dance, deceased, make way, only ancient trapped. Handprint, pierce. They surely had strange lessons. I don't think this was the lesson. Knife was erased. Can look over here and get broken scissors. What did we do with that stool in the other room? Can't use that to scrape the paint off. Doesn't work. I mean, I was thinking, what if we put the whiskey on the paint and then wipe it off with the sponge? Couldn't that work? Wouldn't that remove paint? Oh my god, hey, howdy. What's good? The bedside table looks sturdy enough to withstand my weight, but it's too low. I have to place something on it to reach the window. Someone removed the pin. Anyway, it's too rusty to be shifted. Too rusty to move. There must be something we can do about that. No? How does one remove rust? Oh, we can look down here. I think it could be used as a lockpick if only I could reach it. Sure. Now I have to look for it in the mess hall. How do I get to the mess hall? Is that what this is? Okay, let's have a look. Oh, wow. Could not have found a worse place. Well, there it is. I always find the thing I need first. Alright, a watch is usually a free space. It's usually pretty easy to find. There's a lot of things that require assembly, too. Like the sheriff's hat. A light bulb. The pirate. A scorpion. Is it a toy scorpion or a real scorpion? Looks like a real scorpion. A mask. Cockroach. Where's that mask? A plush frog. That's a broken skate, so what we're looking for is a wheel, which can be found right here. I said right here. Thank you. A receiver. Well, there's a toy pistol. That watch continues to elude me, but we found a yo-yo. There's the receiver. Mug with spoon. So we need to just bring you here. That's that. Watch. Now we just need a mask, which will allow us to go upstairs, use the fork to lockpick the desk, probably find some oil to open the rusted latch, and we can find the crown and save the town of Mr. Krabs. Straight into more rummaging. Wouldn't have it any other way. Thankfully it's not... Well, it probably includes the desk as well, right? Protractor. Wait. We need a gear. Does that mean we're gonna have to open this up somehow? Oh, we can look here. Find a fuse. Well, one of 3. 2, 3. A block. A thermometer. A pencil. A spring. Safety pin. A brush. The only difficulty here is in not knowing what certain things even are. Well, we need a bell. A repaired watch, but what is a bulldog clip? If we close you, we know that it's not in there. What is a bulldog clip? Well, it can't be that many things. Oh, that's what those are called. Alright, repaired watch. We need to bring objects to you. Oh, it's as simple as that. I put you here. All that for a pencil. A dull pencil. It's always something. Thank you. Well, look. One of our objectives is cover the gap. And when you say it like that, a door could probably do it. In the attic of the abandoned haunted orphanage on a stormy night. And you know, it's funny. It actually feels even creepier knowing that it's just us and the boy. No other friendly spirits to guide us. Oh, there's the other part of the scissors. Can we maybe light this? I can't do it with the cover on. It doesn't work. It's not fueled. Whiskey? Back on. The lamp is burning, warm and nice. We may not have needed to do that, but we did. Oh my god. I didn't see you there. You were arranged that way on purpose, weren't you? Maybe it's where you keep all your creepy curios to keep the curious children from snooping. Alright. A boomerang. A sombrero. An insulated mask. What would be an insulated mask? A broadsword. A silver flask. Sometimes I just click on things and I wait until the thing gets removed to find out what it was, by the way. Alright, a frog. A horse. A soccer ball. Oh, insulated flask, not mask. So where does one find an insulated flask? There's a key around your neck. Don't think I haven't noticed. There's a bell. Makeup cream. Where's a wallet? It may not stand out. A thermometer. Letter with stamp. We're gonna need to find the stamp and join it to you then. You've got a spatula for a hand. The hook proves a bit more elusive. Could it be you? There we are. Insulated flask. You. A wallet may prove more difficult. Unless it's right there. Letter with stamp. We need to find what we stamp you with. Oh, well, there's a stamp. This might be useful. The makeup cream. Looks like a paint trail leading somewhere. Oh, you are leading me right into a jump scare. No, oh, come on. There we go, dry paint. Maybe we can heat you up, though? If we can just find something to wet it with. We can use the makeup cream on here, and I guess that lubricates it enough to pull it open. Where we find a secret message. Something is written here, but the ink is pretty much invisible. Some heat might reveal the text. Alright, let's go upstairs. A set of symbols. And the rubric for those, our Rosetta Stone, is the board. This has to mean something. Maybe this is the old Indian script, and knowing the symbol's meaning will unlock the mystery for me. Way ahead of you. Let's go over here. Okay, you're blocking a good portion of that. Only... I might have to get out an actual pen and paper for this. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Only... way... wow. Technically, this is hidden object. Curse? No. You go here. That's a slightly different symbol. It's exactly as written. Some things are similar. It seems like the erased thing is staying. Wait, no. Yeah, no, we can't correct it. I mean, that wasn't it anyway, but still. Evil. Next up is the heart symbol. Well, I mean, we can always say that just heart is heart. Wait, no, I've got it wrong. No, I skipped something. Ancient Trapped. I missed the ghost. Soul. Only way to free Soul, trapped by the ancient curse, is to pierce the evil's heart with a golden knife. I think it says the only way to free a soul trapped by an ancient curse is to pierce the evil heart with a golden knife. This must be the way to free the boy's soul. So does that mean we're going back to the island? Oh, we have to look around over here once more. Maybe there was a golden knife hiding all along. Well, we never got your key. Necklace, perhaps? Well, there's glasses. Necklace. Red bowl. There's a jug somewhere. Right there. A jack-o'-lantern, but only once we carve you. If we can find a knife of some sort, we could do that. I mean, why not? There we are. Jack-o'-lantern. Boot. Tie. There. Heart. What do you mean by heart? Well, we need the cutting board. There's an empty picture frame up there. A feather. Binoculars. The clown. The tambourine. The candlestick. The cat. The solvent, which I imagine we can use. And somewhere, the heart, after we just learned that we need to find a heart. Where does one find a heart? Right there. I maintain that we could have used the whiskey. But let's go. We can wipe this all over. And see where the image was drawn and scratched out. The lines are almost invisible. Maybe the old paper and pencil will work? Just what I was thinking. Brilliant. It's a shaman. So we've got you. We pierce your heart like this. Yes. Now what do we do with it? Maybe we can paint over you. I'll need to wet it with some water first. Well, gee, where are we gonna get water on a night like this? Look at those roaches crawling all over the walls. I mean, couldn't we, I don't know, peek our head out through here? I feel like water shouldn't be hard to get. We can look in the drawer. Okay, and there we get part 6. Didn't open the last 50 times I clicked on it. But anyway, here we go. All right, we can rotate these. That's what makes them a little bit more complicated. But not much more, especially when there's people. So you guys go together. Oh, look at that. We can... That's really cool. We can combine them and then move them together. That's a really nice convenience feature. I'm guessing you are probably the bottom left corner. You'll fit in here. Not quite here. But you'll fit here. Cool stuff. You here. There he is, standing up at his desk. You'll fit in nicely there. We can move the entire thing around once it's connected. You're at that corner. Then you. Then you. This is basically solved at this point. You go right here. Yes. And the final piece. Someone drew a heart on the back of the photo in the middle of that symbol. That's what binds you here. This is the same symbol, but now there's a heart at the center. This is your Horcrux, is it? Okay. Now we just need to find out how to wet this thing. We can climb back outside, put the dry paint in the puddle, just as it stops raining conveniently enough. And now we can go upstairs and use the paintbrush. Oops, it's a little too far. Doesn't work. What do you mean it doesn't work? Are we freehanding this thing? What do you want me to do? I can place that down, as well as this. There's the golden knife. We don't find a golden knife, we can paint one. That is really cool. Now to cut it all out. This is really cool. This is a really cool way to conclude this. Now we place that right there. You know what I'm up to. You're reacting. Let's finish this.
The drawn boy pierced the drawn heart. And while it seemed silly, somewhere deep inside, I knew it was what needed to be done. In an instant, something changed in the world around me, as though a lingering darkness had been lifted. The evil released into this world returned to the place where it belongs. And with the darkness gone, the light of hope was able to take its place.
And that was Shiver, Vanishing Hitchhiker. And I'm so glad I noticed that what was more was not just like a free roam as I had thought it might be. Because that was a much, much more satisfying ending than before. And I know I already basically gave my outro before, but this was everything I hoped for. It was creepy, but it was relaxing. That's the joy of these adventure games, is that they're really there for you to kind of just hunker down for a while and take things at your own pace, to piece things together and just kind of have those little moments of joy along the way as new discoveries are made and a key finally turns every few minutes. What's cool about this is that it's got a lot for you to do, and so you're always figuring something out. There were very few times where I was at a loss. There are certain things that I feel like it could communicate better. The cool thing about this game is that at times it does hit you with a real scare. But for the most part, what this game is spooky, eerie, the kind of thing that gives you a shiver as you rifle through someone's things, someone long gone, to try and figure out how you can help their soul rest, all while feeling something over your shoulder. There's just a presence that hangs over this entire thing, but for the most part, it's just exploring these detailed atmospheric environments. I loved it so much. This was right up my alley, and if you like this video, Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.